Alright, welcome back to Flight Sim 2020. Welcome to a beautiful early morning here at Johannesburg Airport. This is, of course, episode 15 of the Neofly series, and in today's episode, we're back in our little private Embraer 121, and we are going to be flying. We're going to continue our mission of kind of dropping in at all of our different hubs around Southern Africa. So we're flying from our hub here at Johannesburg down to our hub in East London. So it's about just under 2 hours worth of time. It's probably about an hour and a half in the air. And today we have a full load of VIP passengers that are going to be going down to East London. So I thought that was a perfect opportunity to head to our next hub because we had a VIP charter going down there anyway. I think there's 6 people and a bunch of luggage, so we are actually full max weight today, full fuel and full of passengers and cargo, well, luggage as well. So we're going to be pretty heavy on the departure. Johannesburg's runway is it's plenty long enough for this aircraft to take off, so no issues there, but we are going to be pretty heavy. Once we're in East London, there's a couple of things that I want to do down on that side. Once we get to East London, there's a couple of things that I want to do there. Some flying that we're going to do around the area before we start heading back inland again. But we'll kind of see what's available to us once we get there. So let's jump aboard, start getting things prepped to make our way down to East London. So the first thing I'm going to do, all the passengers are on board. So let's close everything up, remove the covers and remove the chocks. We're full up today. And so we're going to go to the checklist. Right, pre-flight. Chocks. Oh, we've done some of this already. So chocks, well, they don't need to be set now. The parking brake does though. So that's now engaged. We've done that. We're at max takeoff weight. That's done. Right, battery is off. We can't really do that. AC and vent switches. So those are off. And then these should all be set to auto. So that's auto. What was the other one? So AC auto. Oh, and then there's one down here, which auto. Cool. Wipers off. Window heats off. Static heats off. Normal. Inertial separators are both off. Converters are off, generators off, all lights are off, auto feather and prop sync, radio, transponder set to standby. I did this last time, I went to the wrong place. Transponder there, so we can set that to standby instead of off. Weather radar's off, left and right fuel pumps off, landing gear down, throttles all the way back. Propellers max RPM, so we can do that. Cut off. Neutral, neutral, neutral. Right, now we can start getting things switched on. So let's go and turn on. First things first, we will switch on battery. So that can now come to on. We'll just mute this guy. Okay, battery's on. Check that we have more than 24 volts. So that looks good. Does that go on? Okay, there we go. Okay, converters left and right on. So we need to come over here and do those two. Okay, passenger and cabin lights are probably fine for now. Nav lights. So if we do external lights, we'll do nav. We can turn on the beacon so long anyway, and that's probably all we need at this stage. Okay, left CAA test. That's here. Okay, left done, right is done. Okay, left and right fire detection. Can't actually remember where those are. Are they up here? Oh no, they're not here, they're over here, I remember. Okay, so we do this one. Let me do this one as well. Oh, and send. Okay, annunciator panel test. So we come down here and flip that on. Make sure that all of these lights come on. Let's turn this off again. Okay, that's pre-flight. Right, closed. Beacon lights are on. Seatbelts and no smoking, which are over here. Those can come on. Brake pressure. We can check that down here. So that should be in the green. Cool. Parking brake is set. Chocks are removed. Left and right auxiliary fuel pumps on and then auto. Yeah, so that's over here. So this is aux. So we switch them all the way up to on and then back down to auto. And then the main fuel pumps, we switch on and on. Done. Check for pressure, which we saw that come up as we switch them on. So that's good. Okay, left ignition switch to normal. So we come up here and we make sure that the left ignition is set to normal, which it is. And then left start switch to start. Okay, left condition lever above 12%, we can start introducing. So I'm actually just gonna have to do both of these because I have them mapped to one control. So we'll put those to idle. And we should see this engine spooling up, which it is. I remember these engines take a bit of time to actually spool up. Okay, that's cool. Everything looks good here, all in the green. That's coming up. That's slowly coming up. Alright, that seems good. And check that the start light is off, which it is. So now we can go ahead and start the right engine. See what I mean? It takes quite a while for it to start spinning. There we go. Okay, that's rising, that's rising. Everything's still in the green. Looking good. Yeah, so we'll just let that stabilize and then we'll go condition high. And then switch on the generators. So we need to come up here and we need to do this one and this one. Yeah, I think we're good there. AC. Oh, we're gonna do that next. Okay, AC and vent on. AC auto manual set to auto. AC and vent on, auto manual set to auto. Set. Right, we're going pressurized mode. So actually we shouldn't be doing this, we should be doing this, but the first things are the same. Pressure vent switch on. That's this one here. Yeah. Left and right bleed cutoff valves open. Open, open. Right, so we're getting pressure from the engine now. Pressurization mode set to auto, we've checked that. And cabin altitude. So we're going to 24,000 today. So we need to come, it's actually down here. And dial this to 24,000 plus 500. So that would be 24 there. So we'll do in the middle there. That's set to auto. Perfect. Okay, before taxi, backup altitude indicator. So that's this guy here. We uncage, like so. Windshield not required, or windshield is required. De-ice for the windshield isn't. Anti-ice, all of the anti-ice stuff we don't need. That's fine. Static pitot heat, we need to turn on. And the other thing I wanted to do was the inertial separators, so we can turn those on. And then those two. Done. Battery temperature test. This always goes into the red. I don't know how we're supposed to stop that, to be honest. Okay, radio master is down here. We turn that on and we get all of our avionics, so we give that some time to come on. Standby altimeter is set. 1021. Crossfeed test left and right. Okay, so that's over here. I guess we just do that. Check that we get the green lights, I suppose. Okay, elevator trim is neutral. Flaps to take off. Cool. Flight controls check and taxi light. This is interesting. So we're basically just cycling through. So parking brake set, we might as well do this here. Prop levers to minimum, throttles at idle, condition levers high, and prop levers back to max, throttle back to idle, which I'm doing in the background. Auto feather armed. Flaps, inertial separator, weather radar, lights, and then this we will do once we actually get to the runway. So we just need to come down here and make sure that this is all working. So we'll give that GPS some time to align. Okay, we'll flip this over to GPS, and then in here we want to dial our altitude all the way up to 24. We're going to go heading mode, which we can't actually enter that now. Once we get to the runway is 16. So let's dial that to about 16, and we'll just check that once we get onto the runway. Okay, we're pretty much just waiting for this now, but we can dial this guy to standby, and that's cool. Beautiful early morning to fly. A little bit of clouds around. While we're waiting, okay, the GPS is done. What I do quickly want to check is just the weather at East London. It was fine a little earlier. Just want to double check that we don't have anything crazy. Okay, so it is marginal VFR, so it's gotten a little bit worse in the last hour or so. Scattered at 1500, broken at 29, so 2900, overcast at 3300. Winds 18, gusting 32. Wow, okay. Sounds like we're in for a bit of fun when we get to East London. That's going to be interesting. Okay, I think we are good to go. Let's go ahead and release the brakes, and we will taxi out. Basically got a straight crosswind here, so we're going to take off from runway 16 because it's the closest. So yeah, Pietermaritzburg terminal is at the end of the runway here. It's not in the middle, so taking off from runway 16 means we can go straight onto the runway and out. Embraer in British Airways liveries is always funny. At this airport, there are no British Airways Embraers here. It would be an Airlink Embraer. Yeah, let's go landing lights and strobes. We'll dial our weather radar on now. Okay, we should have plenty of runway here. Okay, just a couple of last minute things to check. This, oops. Okay, so that's on. Okay, done. Alright, next is after takeoff, so let's go ahead and make our way out. Our heading bug, we need to just sync a little bit better. Keep an eye on that crosswind from the left. A little twitchy there. Okay, we've got positive rate there, so let's go gear up. We'll go flaps up as well. Let's go autopilot on, we'll go heading mode, and that vertical speed is probably fine. Okay, flaps up, landing lights off, inspection lights already off, inertial separators we can now turn off, auto feather off, prop sync on, pressurization check, that does appear to be working, we'll keep an eye on that, altimeter is set and autopilot is on. Okay, we're climbing at about 1,800 feet per minute. Speed is good, just under 140. Passing through 6,000 feet for 24,000. It's interesting that in the checklist for the cruise it says condition levers high and propellers max. So you don't actually bring the prop levers back at all by the looks of things for your cruise, which is different to what I would have done. So if we look, those props are sitting up there, I would have brought it back at least to like a 95% or something like that. Very, very cool little aircraft. I don't know why, I just love the look of this cockpit. let's maybe sync this up a bit. So 231. We want to dial this to about 231. So there's 230. That's about there. That doesn't seem right because it's on the other side. Okay, so that's about there. Right, that's coming up now, so let's go into nav mode and we should then capture our GPS course, just passing through 9,000 feet. And we should now gently start turning to the left. Perfect. Okay, there we are, coming through 10,000 feet. I'm going to dial this down just a bit to 1,005 just to keep the speed up. And now it's just a case of climbing all the way up to 24,000 feet and cruising on to East London. So I'm going to leave you with a bit of a time lapse and I'll join you again when we need to kind of do something else, or most likely just when we're prepping for the descent. Okay, so we've got about 15 minutes left to go, so I think we should just start prepping for our descent. I just want to check the weather again and just see which runway we should be using. So you can see it does look more cloudy up ahead where we are going. So this is QNH 1016. We don't have those gusting winds reported anymore. We've just got winds 50 degrees at 14 knots, which is a bit better. Overcast at 2,700 though, so the ceilings come down. So 50 degrees, that means we will be looking at runway 11, I think. Yeah, runway... We could do 06. I don't use that runway very much. And there's no ILS. I think we'll do 11 because it's going to be cloudy. Okay, so let's start prepping for that. So we'll be ILS Zulu runway 11. I was gonna say, this is 53 minutes and 53 seconds. Okay, so I'm gonna start descending right away to 2,500. Okay, there we go. But now why is this altitude 2,500? Why can't I arm that? That's very weird. And now we're climbing again. I'm not sure what I've done wrong here. That's right, but then we should get altitude armed over there, but we don't. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. But the other thing I wanted to do was down here, just set this to, we want to go here. Okay, cool. So now we've got our flight plan in there as well. Or our flight plan. We've got our arrival procedure loaded in the GPS. Okay, frequency-wise, we need 110.9. So 110.9 is there. Cool. Interesting. I wonder if it set that automatically or if that was just a coincidence. Okay, we are descending at 1,500 feet a minute, so that's good. And yeah, definitely thicker clouds, pretty much straight ahead of us where the airport is. Yeah, I'm just not sure what's happened here and why. I hope it is actually going to level off at 2,500. Yeah, nothing on the weather radar. Oh, there wasn't any precipitation reported though. We might even get a new METAR because this is almost an hour old actually. So we might actually get a new one before we arrive. At least those gusting winds appear to have stopped because that could have been quite tough. But yeah, still a bit of wind. We're going to have a crosswind of about 10 knots. And then overcast at 2,700. Be interested to see what the next METAR is supposed to be in about 6 minutes. Will be interesting to see what that new METAR says because it has, or the ceiling's gotten lower since the previous one. So if that trend carries on, it might actually be even worse. Okay, so we don't need de-icing. Seatbelt signs are on. Cabin altitude, we need to put our landing altitude. East London is 435. hope this is the right thing, because I don't know if this is what you're supposed to do. So what, that's that would be 500 feet, so it's around there. Okay, I never actually ticked any of these off. Okay, that's done. Right, we'll come to that a bit later. Keep an eye on the speed. Can actually bump our speed up just a bit. And we probably want to descend a little faster, actually. Yeah, I don't know why that doesn't come up there. Oh well. You know what we can actually do? I'm going to select our approach again, and we're going to do the East London VOR transition rather. And we can then actually activate that. So it'll bring us into the VOR and then around. Like so. Okay, course for the approach is 109. Why am I dialing it this way? So that's 110. So it's about there. Definitely going to be descending through the clouds, although it doesn't look too thick lower down, but it's definitely more dense over there, so yeah, I think we should be okay. As you can see, it's here it's kind of fluffy, and there it's just like this thick layer. Minimums are 200 feet radio, so we'll set that in here. Okay, just about to come through 12,000 feet. Still nothing on the weather radar, so not expecting any precipitation. But I think it might get kind of bumpy in the clouds. Okay, according to the chart, we should be 4,600 feet above the VOR. 4 minutes. So I'm going to start backing off the speed. Okay, 7 degrees outside, and we're going to go into the clouds. So I reckon, yeah, we should probably do windshield anti-ice, blades. Those guys. Oh, taxi light is still on for some reason. And we'll turn on the inertial separators while we're here as well. Okay, 10,000 feet, we'll turn on the landing lights. Taxi lights are already out. Okay, so then just under 4 minutes. Right, landing lights are on. Altimeter was 1016. So that's cool, 1015. So we should actually be 1016. 12 degrees. Yeah, we're probably not going to need the anti-ice. By the time we descend into the clouds, it's actually going to be fine. Okay, flaps we'll do later. Yeah, temperature's going up. Let's turn all this off. We'll keep the initial separators on, and we'll obviously keep the pitot heat on. Or static port, actually. Okay, 3 minutes to go, 7,000 feet. Okay, I'm gonna dial this. Oh, now it's there to 4,000. We are still descending. Oh, it's 4,600. Okay, we're gonna be that. Well, we're going to be at that altitude quite early, so we can slow our descent a bit as we now start dipping into the clouds. Okay, it's 1,000 feet to go. A little bit bumpy as we get into the soup here. Yeah, altitude arm is on, so we should level off at 4,600. The question then is, what altitude are we going to break out of this at? Because if we get through this pretty quickly, it's not going to make much of a difference. But if it's like this all the way down, that's going to suck. Okay, METAR still hasn't updated. Nothing on the weather radar, so we can actually zoom that out a bit, or zoom it in a bit, I mean. Just to keep an eye for any bad weather close to the airport. Okay, we level off at 4,600. Props full, condition levers full. Yeah, so we should start a turn to the right shortly. 9 seconds. Okay, and there we can descend to 2,500. So the latest METAR that we have is over an hour old, and it was saying 2,700 feet. So we should break out just before our 2,500 foot ILS intercept altitude. METAR still not updated, so that's the best we've got so far. Hey, I can kind of see the ground. You can just kind of see the buildings going past there every now and then, although we got into a thick of it here. Yeah, not so much. No rain though, which is interesting. Altitude arm is on. We should shortly get that tone. There we go, starting to be able to see the ground. It's the outer marker. Okay, starting our procedure turn. There's the tone. Okay, just passed through 3,000 feet. 2928 coming up. Visibility is fine, maybe a little bit worse back towards the airport, but I don't think we're going to have any issues. Start slowing down a little bit more. Okay, within the wide arc now for our flaps when we need them. Okay, what I'm going to do now is go into heading mode. And then I can flip this over to nav, and we now have the ILS. And we can arm the approach, so we can intercept the ILS. It's a little hazy out where we are now, but we're gonna make it in just fine. It does feel a little windy out there though. Okay, I'm gonna go flaps 1 now. We're about to intercept the ILS shortly. Bit at around 120, 130 knots, or about 125-ish now. Right, there we are, intercepting the localizer. We are below the glide slope, so that's good. And dial that to match our course, just in case we have to go around. Prop sync off, auto feather armed. The radar standby. Then we just have to do final flaps and landing gear. Okay, 1 dot above on the glide slope. I don't see the runway. It's still a little hazy. Okay, coming up to the glide slope now. And we're on the glide slope. Okay, 19 degrees, no issue of icing as far as I can tell. At 19 degrees we shouldn't have any problems anyway. I can see the runway now. Okay, 5 miles. Outer marker is 4 miles. So let's double check. We should get that outer marker tone and indicator again around 4 miles, and that's where we'll go gear down, I think. Okay, we're 4.8 now. Outer marker is exactly 4 miles, and we should be 1,700 feet at that point. 4.3, we're 1,750, so we're looking pretty good. Here's the outer marker at 4.1. Let's go gear down. Flaps full. Okay, crosswind from the right to be aware of. It is quite windy. Okay, I'm gonna take control. Approaching minimums. Yeah, there's minimums, and we're continuing. We're a little high. Okay, we're back on. worry about floating a little bit so we don't have to taxi so far. Okay, there we are, arrived at East London. So let's go. Landing in taxi, no, sorry, landing in strobe lights off. Flaps can come up. Okay, flaps up, de-ice is already off. Inertial separators I'll do in a second, but we're actually parking just over here, so we'll do all of that once we are parked up. Yeah, it's a little bit windy actually. Okay, so these guys can come off. We can turn off the signs now. Taxi lights can come off. Anti-collision lights can come off. These guys can come off. Okay, done, done. Then auto feather off. That's done, that's done, that's done. Done. Taxi lights are now off because we already parked. Done. Transponder standby. Yeah, look how we're being tossed around. So it must be pretty windy out there. I mean, it is often very windy in East London, so it makes sense. Weather radar can now go fully off. Elevator trim neutral. That's pretty close to neutral actually. Something like that. Parking brake is set. Taxi lights off. Idle. Minimum. Bleed cutoffs. That one, and that one. So that's that one, and that one. Cool. Ignition levers done. Fuel pumps. That one, and I'm assuming these go to off as well. Cool, and then generators. So we come up here and we go off and off. Chocks set, so we need to come here, set the chocks. Done. Parking brake, we'll leave the parking brake on, that's done. Those are off anyway, so is that and that. And those, that. Radio. Converters, and then finally the battery. Turn off the nav lights as well, and then battery off. That is it. We are done. Okay, so we're welcome to East London. We've arrived nice and early. It is pretty windy out there. What we're gonna do, because it's not really enough to fill a whole episode, so I'm going to do some sort of flight around the area. So let me go and set that up, see what we have available, what aircraft we have to fly, because I do have a bunch of aircraft based here in East London. And I'll join you again in just a bit. For me, it's probably going to be 10-15 minutes of checking out and finding some routes. Wow, look at that windside, jeez. But for you guys, it's going to be just a couple of seconds, and then we'll be in something else, and I will have some sort of flight ready for us. So, I'll see you in just a bit. Alright, so here we are a little bit later in the morning, and as you can probably tell, it is very windy. But we're going to be flying an aircraft that I haven't featured for quite a while in Neofly. We did a little bit of flying in this aircraft up in the Masai Mara area way back in like episode 5 or 6. But this is of course the Britten-Norman Islander, and we've got a short route today. So what's actually happening later this afternoon is one of our Transall C160s is landing here at East London, all the way from Kilimanjaro, with a load of cargo, and its next stop, which will be tomorrow, is up to Johannesburg. So we're going to pick up some cargo from a small town just kind of north-ish from here. It's actually not, it's more northeast. But we're picking up some cargo from Stutterheim that is going to be making its way to Johannesburg tomorrow. But on the way out, we're stopping in Bishu to drop off some cargo with the Islander. So it's about a 1 hour, probably, yeah, around an hour round trip. So that's the plan for this morning's flight. So let's jump aboard our Islander and see if I can remember how to fly it. Okay, let me just have a look. We can get rid of all this stuff. Right, we're pretty full up, so let me just go and add in our payload. Okay, so we need this guy on. Okay, doors all closed is good. So we'll do nav, we'll do rotating beacon. Okay, then this needs to be on in order for us to start the engines. I remember that. And we need to turn on the mags. Fuel pump is okay, we don't really need that for now, but these need to be on. Okay, and then I think we're good to go, but we need to props full forward, and we'll mixture as well. Right, let's go and start the left-hand engine. Perfect. And right. Oh, cool. Looks like they are possibly prepping that CRJ4 to go out. Right, let's get the generators on. Cool sounding aircraft. Okay, passenger signs we might as well turn on, even though we don't have any passengers. It's just cardboard. It's just cargo today. Landing lights we will turn on once we get to the runway. What else do we need? Still warning heater we should probably have on. De-ice we don't really need. We come across to this side, we need avionics, which is it this one? No. Where's the main avionics switch? There. Right, that's kind of important. Okay, this guy can go to standby. So I did program the route into the GPS, so that should all be there. And I'll check at them having a chat about the aircraft. That's pretty cool. Okay, just waiting for our GPS to power up. Okay, it's gonna have to sync. So we're gonna be flying VFR. Hopefully the weather isn't worse inland, so we can get through. So I'm just going to do 2,500 feet, and we might as well dial our heading. What runway do we land on? 1-1. Which is there. looks good for now. Oh, we might as well do flaps for takeoff. GPS is still acquiring. And it is wind. So I have to be pretty careful on the takeoff. GPS looks good now, so we're going out this way and then across to Stutterheim and back into East London. Right, let's go ahead and taxi out to runway 11. Hit the citation, because that would be very expensive. And they'll definitely know it was me because they're standing right there. Not the runway that I wanted. Whoops. This is taxiing us out to the other runway, 06. In fact, the window 050, so 06 could actually be better. Let's actually try that. I don't think I've ever used this runway. In reality, it's too short for the airliners and stuff. And I've never actually seen any of the GA traffic use it, but I'm pretty sure it does get used sometimes. It's not like I've spent that much time at East London Airport. Could actually be better for the wind, and it means we don't have to turn it as much when we head out. So let's adjust our heading to match. The X's make me think that this runway is not used at all. Yeah, let's go landing lights. Love the sound of this aircraft. We are good to go. Do our best here to keep it steady in the wind. are flying. Okay, flaps coming up. Gear doesn't come up, so that's fine. Nice and bouncy. Very bouncy. I think we're going to be in for a pretty unpleasant ride for pretty much all of the flight today. Sucks. Okay, not gonna be a particularly pleasant flight. Luckily, we're just flying cardboard. Coming up to 2,000 feet. Yeah, so we've got to endure 10 minutes of this. Just over 10 minutes of this to get to Bishu. A little bit cloudy out this way. wondering if I should go higher to try and get out of some of this turbulence. But then we're at more risk of going into the clouds as well. And this is just horrific. Clouds don't look as bad up ahead, maybe until we get to Bishu. So let's go up. Doesn't seem to be getting any better, does it? Sure. So we've got a 4.5, but yeah, it doesn't seem to be making any difference. Just under 8 minutes to go. Might even be getting worse, to be honest. And looking up ahead, I think we're gonna have to duck down again to get under those clouds. We can get past that patch and that patch, but in between, further up, it's not looking good. And I think that's right over the airport. Maybe the airport is just this side, but I don't think so. Pretty much just gonna get to 4.5 and then have to go down again. Hasn't made any difference. this, I think, is this King Williamstown? I think it is. So we're not very far from the airport. Well, we are just over 4 minutes. So I think then that this is King Williamstown. Okay, at least we can get under these clouds here. Because at one point that looked like it might be an issue. Okay, 2.5 minutes out. Is just to our left. Oh, did the turbulence just stop? Wonder why. It's very strange, but that is life-changing. So I'm going to do kind of like an overhead join type thing here. Because I'm pretty sure the wind is the same, so I need to land from the opposite direction. I think I'm a bit low though. Pretty much east-west. Yeah, look at the wind side. coming to this apron down here, which is the like kind of GA apron, I think. There we are. Welcome to Bijou. Looking out for that taxiway to the left. Bring the flaps up so long. So we'll taxi into the parking here, drop off our cargo. Shouldn't take too long, and then we will be on our way to Stutterheim. Right, let's get the lights off that we don't need. Right-hand turns at the end, I think there is. So we kind of want to go there where that van is. Just watch. As soon as I get there, that van's gonna drive straight into me. Because if you've watched the other episodes of Neofly, you'll know that the AI vehicles have a habit of driving through my aircraft at any opportunity. Than I imagined. Cool sounds. Okay, that should get our cargo offloaded. There we go. Nothing's going on to the pallet. Ah, there we go. Cool. Just a little bit of cargo for today. Okay, now we're going to be running empty from here to FAXT, which is pretty close. And there we should be picking up some other cargo. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. We can just get it fired up once again. Nice. That's what you call a quick turnaround. Okay, let's make our way out of here and into Stadheim. Hopefully the turbulence is done, because the last few minutes of that flight was glorious compared to how it started in East London. Let's go flaps 1 for takeoff. So in Stadheim, I believe we are picking up some sort of farming equipment. Nothing crazy big, but it needs to head to Johannesburg to be serviced or repaired or something like that. And that will be heading out tomorrow on the C-160 up to Johannesburg. And I guess at some point coming back, if it can be repaired, I suppose. Okay, let's do lights. And transponder. Right, we've got plenty of runway. Looks clear. Props and mixtures are full. Flaps are set for takeoff. I think we're heading almost straight out now. We've got to turn quite a bit to the left. Is that a vehicle on the runway? I think it is. Or is it just something at the end of the runway? Oh no, it's just a tree at the end of the runway. Okay, here we go. Okay, we are airborne. Let's flaps up. Okay, so right now GPS is saying 15 minutes, but that will come down a bit once we pick up some speed. Now, Stutterheim is kind of nestled in the hills that you can see up ahead, so that might make the clouds more of an issue. Please let the turbulence stay like it is now, as in there isn't any. Haha, spoke too soon. So maybe let's do the opposite and stay nice and low to the ground. Check at that. Okay. Quite work as planned. Okay. Well, guess we're in for a bumpy ride. When we get to the airstrip in Stutterheim, it is just a little grass strip on one of the farms. So, nothing too fancy at all. I don't even know if there must be a windsock there, surely. But we gotta get over those hills there. I don't know, would you say those are mountains? Maybe. Okay. 8.5 minutes-ish to go. But yeah, look at the clouds on the other side there. I'm going to slowly start climbing so we can get over those hills. And then from there, we are just going back to East London. But yeah, my theory of staying low and avoiding the turbulence hasn't quite worked. around 6.5 minutes. Still just ever so gradually increasing altitude as we go. Put a little bit more prop in, a little bit more power. I want to keep it as close to 120 knots as I can, but we also need to keep increasing our altitude. Those clouds on the ridge there don't look good. If we've got to go over that ridge, we might have some issues. That ridge though, we're about 5.5 minutes out. That ridge might be the mountains just other side the town, which means we don't have to go over them. Seems to have to be very close to the ground for the turbulence to stop. I think those mountains, it is the mountain range, are the sides that are high. Because we're 4.5 minutes out. I think that is the case, which means we don't need to go over them. We just need to get around these patches of cloud this side, and then we are good, because it's actually looking quite thick up ahead there. Going to want to land again towards the east if we can. Is that patch there that I'm seeing? Nah, I don't think we're seeing it just yet. We should see the town first. Still 3 minutes out. Maybe gain some altitude here. We're in the turbulence anyway, we might as well go up so we can see a bit better. airstrip is just not right up against the base of the mountains, but pretty close to it. I think that's the town. Yeah, that's the town we're seeing just in the distance there. I know this airstrip quite well, but not from this side. I've always come from East London side to get into it. Slowing down, getting some flaps in. Now we just need to spot the airstrip. I think it's this side of this dirt road. Ah, is that it there? I think I can see it. Looks like the airstrip straight in front of me, but it doesn't line up with the GPS. It kind of does. This aircraft, when you on a short funnel like this, just feels like it's falling out of the sky because you're so slow. At 50 knots. Hill a little bit, which will help us slow down. We'll just taxi over to the hangars there on the left. And then we will park up and see if our cargo is ready for us to load. What's that there? Is it a forklift? Is it a bus? No, I think it's a forklift. Okay, lights. Transponder. Yeah, it's a little red and black forklift. There we are. So let's get the door open, or doors open, and we're actually gonna shut everything down now. I'll switch these off, and switch those off. Because this I'm expecting to take a bit longer to load up. Okay, but there we are, ready to get everything on board. So let me sort that out and I will see you in just a bit. Okay, so as you can probably see, it is now later in the afternoon. It took some time. We had to wait. The equipment wasn't actually here yet. And so we had to wait for it to arrive, and then it took some time to load it up. And so we've just been chilling, but it is now kind of, I don't know, mid-afternoon, late afternoon possibly. It's actually, no, it's 4 o'clock, so yeah, getting to late afternoon. And so we are going to make our way back to East London. Just had a look. Our C160 is about half an hour out from East London as well, so they're probably going to arrive there just after we do. And then we can load this cargo straight onto the C160, ready to go out tomorrow morning. But let's jump aboard for our final leg for this episode. So first things first, let's get all the doors closed. Okay, battery external, nav, rotating cannon, magnetos 1, 2, 1, 2, fuel on. And then we need to do props and mixtures. Like so, and we'll do left and right. Flaps will take off. Okay, just waiting for the GPS. And we are full up, we are max takeoff. So, we brought just the right aircraft for this this cargo because it just fits. That's very interesting. Why did our left engine just shut down? So did our right engine. Fuel's on. I think I just need to give it a bit of throttle. Just waiting on the GPS, so I've just given it a bit more throttle so we idle a bit higher. I suppose it's not really idling in then, is it? Yeah, but that seems a lot better, so let's go. Don't actually see a windsock out here. really want to take off uphill, so I think we'll use the runway that I'm on now. Just go obviously back in the opposite direction. Even though if we went all the way down that end, we'd probably be airborne by then. But I don't want to have the awkward situation where you get airborne and then hit that ridge. So I think we'll use this runway. This also behind us puts us almost direct facing towards East London. We're going to go out over the town. Clouds out that way look a bit tricky, the rest looks good. So we'll head out over the town of Stadaheim. I think we are good to go. Very stable aircraft, the Islander. Let's get the flaps up. Looks quite cloudy out towards East London. I'll take us over the town here. Small little town. This is pretty much it. That big building in front of us is the hospital. Country club over there. That's basically the... If I do this, it's basically the center of town here. Out this way is the main road out to East London. And that is Stadaheim, basically. Once again, I'm going to try my technique of staying low, but also because we need to stay beneath these clouds. Keeping an eye on my other screen, the AI pilot in the C-160. It's a pity we don't see them in the sim, but looks like they're going to be arriving there either just before or at the same time as us. Yeah, I think they're going to get there before us because they're roughly the same distance away, just more out that way. But C-160 is of course a lot faster than the Islander, so... Wow, this is terrible. Looks like it's gonna be a pretty rough ride all the way to East London at this rate. It's about as low as I can go, and it is still chucking us all over the place. Again, at least no passenger complaints because they're just flying cargo. Yeah, 13 minutes to East London. Even used the autopilot for this flight at all. Just hand flying it. The island is so stable. It's pretty cool to hand fly, so we're a little bit ahead of the C-160. He's coming in at an angle. It does look quite cloudy out towards the coast. Okay, 11 minutes, still in the thick of the turbulence. The clouds look like, yeah, they're nicely above us here, so I think we should be able to get in VFR. Looking at the sign over here, which says single pilot VFR only. Does that mean that you can fly IFR if there are two pilots? Or does it mean that you can only fly this single pilot and you can only fly it VFR? Because the single pilot only might be a thing. Oh, in fact, it's... no. There are controls on this side. So I think it means a single pilot VFR only. So if you're single pilot, you can only do VFR. If you want to do IFR, you need to then have a second pilot. That would be my understanding. The only thing, obviously there is a control column on the other side, but the part that made me think maybe it's only meant to be flown by a single pilot is you don't have any of these gauges in front of you on the other side. Like not having speed and altitude and all of that stuff. Artificial horizon. That would be kind of weird to fly it from the opposite side. So maybe? But then again, there's controls on the other side, so... I don't know, interesting. And for a plane like this, why would you need 2 pilots IFR? I mean, it's not exactly super complex. There's other aircraft that are way more complex than this, that you can do single pilot IFR. Hazy out here. Making good speed, so we're 8 minutes out. Our C-160. Yeah, I think we're gonna get in before he does. And that's gonna be a big payout for the company because those C-160 charters, they're about just over a million monies each. What currency do they actually use in Neofly? Oh, it's just dollars. Okay. So yeah, those C-160 flights between East London and Kilimanjaro, there's 2 each day. So there's one now that'll be landing in East London shortly. The other one is landing in the other side, or on the other side in Kilimanjaro. And then they'll each spend the night there and then go out the next morning. But each of those brings in just over $1 million. And they normally land roughly at the same time. Jeez, this is shocking. Turbulence. So there's a good almost $2.5 million for the airline, which is very nice. Yeah, the C-160 isn't going straight to Kilimanjaro tomorrow, it's going to Joburg first. I actually want to pick up a third one that we can operate down here, but I'm deciding on whether to do another C-160 or to get the BAE 146 cargo version to operate around South Africa, so mainly into Cape Town and Durban, and possibly, yeah, it'll end up doing Joburg as well. Although the Joburg route fits nicely with Kilimanjaro because you go out that way anyway, it wouldn't make sense to do Cape Town Kilimanjaro. Durban Kilimanjaro, Kruger Kilimanjaro, all works. I think a 146 might be cool to do some of those flights into Cape Town and into Kruger from East London and Durban as well. But they're expensive, so what about 20 mil in the bank now? What does a 160 cost? I think you can get a decent 160 for like 16 grand. Oh, it's 16 grand. 16 mil? 19 mil. Okay, so yeah, you're looking at around 20 to 25 mil for the 160s. And for the 146, obviously there's 3 different sizes. So you got the 146 100, looking at about 30 mil. 200 is about 42, 43-ish. And the 300, you are looking at upwards of 50, so probably around 50. There's a couple for less than that. Oh, there's one for 40. Yeah, okay, so you can actually get a... Oh, it's a brand new one for 55, but you can get some with a few more hours on them for just over 30. And obviously the 300 is going to take the most cargo, so that'll bring in the most amount of money. So I think I'll look at doing that, see if I can save up. Get a 146 300. Yeah, this is horrendous. Probably look at picking up a CRJ at some point as well, although those will be more geared towards passenger operations. We've set up a network between Durban, East London, Cape Town, maybe even Port Elizabeth as well, all along the coast with the CRJ. That's kind of cool. We're gonna make it in before the 160 does. He's about 10 minutes out now. We are 2.5 minutes out. So I need to start heading this way a little bit. See if we can spot the runway. And this will be one of those days where you are glad to be back on the ground, because this has not been pleasant conditions to fly in for most of this flight. Into the clouds here. Oh wow, this is terrible. I'm gonna be touching down shortly. I can see the runway now. Start slowing down. Okay, and there we are out of the turbulence for now. But yeah, I'm gonna be happy to be on the ground. Still nice and windy out here in East London, so pay attention to that crosswind once again. Let's do flaps. welcome back to East London. Right, let's do flaps. And lights. Mixture. We will taxi back to our position next to the citation, which is still there. And I bet you those two guys are still having a conversation outside next to it. That windsock. I actually wanted to do some skydiving operations today, but I don't think anyone's going to be skydiving with that kind of wind. Imagine landing with that wind and trying to deal with your parachute. C-160 is on approach. C-160 parks over here in this little box. It is too big to come here to the GA apron, and there's no point taking it to the gates because there's no passengers, so it parks in there, which you can't see now because of the engine. Looks like the other C-160 just landed in Kilimanjaro because I just got like $1 million into the account. Yeah, it's about 1.1. I think those are the only two AI pilots that were still flying tonight. The others had finished for the day, which makes sense because they do much shorter routes. I think the C-160 from here to Kilimanjaro is about 8 hours. Whereas the other pilots, I think maximum you're looking at probably 2.5 hours. Yeah, we could. Maybe not for the wingtip. No, I think it's okay. Once again, just making noise for these guys' conversation here. And of course, there's a vehicle trying to drive into me. Come to pick us up. Right, we can pretty much just turn off everything we turned on, so all of those. Oh, I left that open, that's not great. Off. Oh. Cool. And we can actually switch off the battery while they're still unloading. Oh, there's a van there. they are done. So what we can actually do then is close up the aircraft for the night. We won't be starting our engine. There we go, chocks in and all the covers and all of that. Okay, but that is going to bring us to the end of this episode of the Neofly series. I think you might have an idea of what we're going to be doing in the next episode. But if you would like to find out for sure, you know what to do down below, and I'll see you in the next one.